everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my August wrap-up. I'm a little bit late, but whoops. No, I've just had the worst allergies ever. I think I said that in my July wrap-up. But yeah, just allergies and life. And really bad eczema as well has kind of like I don't look great. Books I read, I didn't really do much reading in August, even though I had a little bit of time off. I was distracted by other things. And I did do some reading. Like I read Strega by Johanna Lycka-Holm, translated by Saskia Vogel. And I read this at the end of August because it very much felt like the perfect end of summer and a welcoming to autumn book, because that's how it starts. It starts at the end of a very oppressive summer, and these girls go, it's like 19-year-old girls go to an alpine retreat to work there for a season. So they go to this random mysterious place, and it's still like quite humid and hot, and then slowly the seasons start to change and the mysterious hotel that they work at kind of feels straight out of Halloween. So yeah, the fact that then they're starting to work there in October and November, it just kind of feels very moody. There's like gothic elements to this story as well. Basically the premise of the story is these girls go to work at this alpine hotel. There's not much to do other than the very regimented routine of every day doing the chores, doing the washing, doing the cooking, the routine of life perhaps reflected in the sort of microcosm of this hotel. And there are no guests ever, and so everything just feels very strange and wasted until one night there's like a random celebration at the end of October, which is like Halloween but not Halloween. And something weird happens. A girl goes missing. And yeah, then the rest of the novel is about them trying to figure out where she went and how and why, but it's kind of left open-ended. We don't know where she went. No, spoiler alert. But it's kind of like a meditation on, well, womanhood, using this microcosm of a hotel to sort of show how women are in society, just doing these chores, and then dangerous men come to stay at the hotel and a woman goes missing. Yeah, it's kind of very obvious, but it was interesting. I think I gave it 3 stars because I kind of felt like I wanted to know what happened, but leaving it open-ended kind of, I don't know, I feel like she got killed, and I kind of want to say how I think she got killed, but I don't want to. I think she got burned in an effigy, but I'm not too sure. It's a strange one, and kind of a very quick read, although it did take me a whole week to read it, even though I was reading it quite regularly. I'm just a very slow reader. Yeah, so I thought it was an interesting book. Will I read it again? Probably not. Then I finished reading A Game of Thrones on audiobook. I don't really have anything else to say about it because I've already spoken about it a few times, but yeah, like, it was good. I'll probably continue the series soonish, but I feel like I might read a different audiobook in between. And I am currently reading The Last Kingdom by Bernard Cornwell, which is like I watched the show first. I watched it last year and I thought it was really good, so I'm kind of just dipping into the books to see whether I'll enjoy the books. I must say I'm a little bored. A lot of what's happening at the moment I feel like didn't happen in the show, so it's just like, do I really care about Uhtred's youth? Not really. Yeah, so maybe it will get better, or maybe it won't, and maybe I'll just watch the show again. Who knows, who cares? Right, anyway, so that's like the end of books, because I didn't do much reading. One thing that's taken over my life towards the end of August and continuing throughout September, as this is halfway through September that I'm recording this, the new expansion of World of Warcraft came out, The War Within. I'm playing it. It's ridiculously good, and yeah, so this has taken up a lot of my spare time. It's fun. Shoot me. Well, don't, please. Let's get on to movies. 2 throwback movies and 1 sequel prequel. So yeah, I watched Aliens because I hadn't seen it before, and the next movie I saw was Alien Romulus. So I saw Aliens because I thought Alien Romulus was after Aliens, but it wasn't. It's between Alien and Aliens. So yeah, I didn't necessarily need to see it. when I saw it, but I enjoyed it. It was good. But yeah, anyway, so let's talk about Aliens. Sequel to Alien, and it's like the James Cameron one, isn't it? So it's very much more action-y than the original, which I kind of liked but also didn't like, because I liked the suspense, the sort of horror of Alien, and then turn it into an action movie kind of does get rid of some of the horror. But yeah, no, it's interesting. And the Queen alien is disgusting, and I think I called her a bitch, or it's like, just like called the alien a bitch before the iconic line that I'd never heard before, and so I was like, I think I was like, get away from her, bitch. And then she calls the alien bitch, and I'm just like, okay, we're on the same wavelength. But yeah, no, like it's an enjoyable movie, like great action. Alien Romulus, mixed bag for me. I feel like I enjoyed it, but a lot of it was just basically nostalgia. I don't know, nostalgia bait, or like nostalgia, just cashing in on nostalgia of the first two movies, because they're like moments directly lifted from it, like the android in this calling the alien a bitch, and it just felt so artificial and just so stupid and just cringe. I hated that moment. I was just like, get it off screen. And it's just always quite predictable how it's just the woman at the end fighting off the alien. Like, Alien was groundbreaking when it did that, and then to do it each movie, like, you know immediately, she's the new Sigourney Weaver of this film. It's just very predictable. And do we need it to happen? Do we need a boss bitch killing the alien at the end on her own and flushing it out into space again? Not really. One thing that really got me, though, was the weird creature at the end. I'm not going to spoil it. I thought it was CGI. Then I saw behind the scenes, and it was practical effects. And I am literally haunted by this. And I just didn't think it was possible. But if you've seen the film, have you seen the behind the scenes of the person portraying the weird creature at the end? What? Like, that's pretty cool. Like, just the fact that a lot of practical effects were used in the movie, which made it infinitely better. And I think that's kind of what I didn't appreciate about Alien Covenant, was that the creatures were CGI and therefore didn't feel that scary. Whereas in this, you could tell that there was practical effects, so it felt a bit more real. But yeah, so like I would say it's mixed bag. And then the final film that I saw in August was none other than Jaws, which, shock horror, this was my first time seeing it. And I went to an open air showing in this beautiful garden, and it was just so cool to go and see a iconic movie outside in summer. It was great. And do I think Jaws is like amazing? I don't actually. I think it's okay. It was enjoyable enough. I did get a bit bored in like the middle where they're all just sitting in the ship getting drunk and singing. I felt like that could have been a bit shorter. And it's like a very dude film, isn't it? Like these three men go off to hunt a shark. It's like quite macho. But yeah, no, like, and I think the best shot, and it's an iconic shot, I've seen the shot before, but like seeing it in the context of the film, the dolly zoom when, I can't remember his name, the police officer guy, sheriff man, is on the beach, and it shows the horror of like him, and just the way it zooms. I will insert the image of it here, and I just think that's one of the greatest shots in cinema to kind of just show the disorientation, the sort of, oh shit, wash over someone. It's stunning, beautiful. Like I love a good dolly zoom. I think that it's like just such a cool shot. But yeah, so like that was cool seeing that on the big screen. I don't know, cinema nerd. But yeah, like it was enjoyable, but I don't know whether I would say it's like the pinnacle of cinema, which, no, I don't think it is. Right, yeah, so that's all of the movies. Let's go on to TV shows. So I think my Apple TV trial has come to an end again. Where? Cry. But I managed to watch Severance, which, funnily enough, I tried watching it when it first came out, and I couldn't get into it. I couldn't even get past the halfway mark of the first episode, which feels crazy now. And I tried watching it again, and I got to the same point where I was just like, I'm just not really into this. And like, I keep hearing people online saying it's amazing, it's a masterpiece. I'm just like, I'm not clicking with it. And so I was just like, okay, we're just going to watch it. We're just going to try and get through the first episode and then just watch the second episode and see what happens. And I think it was like by the third episode, I was just kind of like, oh my god, okay, I need to keep watching this. It's fucking brilliant, isn't it? It's fucking brilliant. And then there's a plot twist towards the end of the first season, which involves a character, and you don't see it coming. And it was just like, holy shit. It's brilliant. I love the way it's directed as well, like just the colour palette. It's genius. And I can't wait for season 2, but I think season 2's like January or February next year, which is annoying. It's really great, like sci-fi concept is interesting, and like on paper it sounded interesting. That's why I tried to watch it initially the first time. Like the idea of yourself gets divided between your home life and your work life, the dream. But then there's the ethical implications of that, and like how that's explored in the show is so interesting. And like you can very much tell it's like is it a dark comedy? It kind of feels like a dark comedy, a satire of corporate America, and sort of, yeah, it's great. The Dragon Prince, The Mystery of Averos, season 6. Watched that recently. I love this show so much. I know it's a kids show, but like this season it got pretty dark, with like all the dark magic and the sacrifices and just some of the places the characters are going. It's so interesting. And like the main villain, who's like a Star Touch elf, Averos, is like basically Sauron vibes. And it's crazy. That's another thing I've been watching, Rings of Power. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so like the Dragon Prince, it's a kids show, but it does get dark and it gets really interesting. It's just like heartwarming, fun. It's got elves in it. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying where the show is going. And season 7 comes out in December, and it looks like it's going to be crazy because the big bad elf has been released. But talking of elves and Sauron vibes, The Rings of Power season 2, I'm actually really enjoying it. Season 1 kind of fell flat for me, and I kind of felt, oh, what the fuck is this? But season 2 so far has been so much better, and most of that is because of the Sauron storyline. So like him and Celebrimbor forging the rings, the manipulation, and how he's doing it, and just it's very deliciously bad. Just like, yeah, the manipulation is fabulous, and like Sauron's kind of hot. But obviously he is like in his form Anatar. There's like a line in the first Lord of the Rings book where Frodo meets Aragorn, and he says about him seeming foul or something. Oh yeah, I think a servant of the enemy would look fairer and feel fouler. Yeah, so like the idea of Sauron looks fair but he is foul is like a good way of disguise, and just, yeah, it's brilliant. Do I care about the Hobbit storyline? No, I fucking don't. Tom Bombadil's in it. Do we need him? I don't know, it's kind of nice, and like hearing him sing his little tunes, in a way it's also like nostalgia, like the way that Alien Romulus was all about like nostalgia and kind of things. This does feel like it harks back a lot and uses particular devices or characters or beings to kind of be like, oh, look at that. Like when the Ents appeared, it fucking got me, didn't it? I was just, oh my god, the Ents! This is amazing. It's got the Ents in it, and it's got the fucking Ent wives in it. So yeah, I'm enjoying a lot of it. Like I still really enjoy Arondir as a character. I think he is like just very much feels like a Tolkien elf. Like his scene where he's talking to the Ents and like making a promise to them and like just being at one with nature just touched my heart. Yeah, like, so I still really like Arondir. Don't care for the hobbits. Love the Sauron shit. Like, despicable. I'm kind of rooting for him, which I never thought I would, considering when I watch Lord of the Rings, I hate him, and I love all the hobbits and the Fellowship and everything. But in this, I'm kind of like, yeah, go on, fuck him up, mate. It's just enjoyable to watch a villain come into power. And Sauron is one of the most interesting villains ever created, I would say. But maybe I'm biased. What else do I enjoy about it? Obviously, the visuals are still stunning, still beautiful. Oh, not Celebrimbor. Who's the shipwright? Círdan. That kind of touched me as well. Círdan being in it. And he's played by none other than Ben fucking Daniels, who is hitting it out the park at the moment with every role he's doing. From Bel Rioso or whatever it is in Foundation. Then he was in Interview with a Vampire playing, I can't remember what his character is, but an iconic fucking character. Now he's Círdan the shipwright. Fucking sensational. Did I talk about Interview with the Vampire? Because it came out technically on the 1st of August, so I did binge watch that. Loved every second of it. Loved the twists and turns and the sort of the analysis of being an unreliable narrator. All the shit to do with manipulating. Like, I don't know what it is about manipulative characters, but they're just so fucking interesting. So again, like the whole thing of Interview with the Vampire is just all the manipulation going on, and like people are telling their stories, but like who's actually correct. Revelations come out. Obviously, Lestat is iconic, the best. Love his character, and I can't wait for season 3 because it is going to be Rockstar Lestat, and that just amazing. But yeah, I don't know why I'm rambling now. I need to sign off. So yeah, that's everything I read and watched in August. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you've been reading and watching in the month of August, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.